Yo, what is up, guys? Tears Life here, and I'm back with part 2 of the What is the Greatest Call of Duty series. Today's Call of Duty is Black Ops 1. So what we're going to start out with is the multiplayer. So overall, I did enjoy the multiplayer. Unfortunately, I got this game when it was a little older. I believe I got it when Modern Warfare 3 was in its prime, so I did not play it from the very beginning. But I did enjoy my time with it. So the feel of it was a little different from previous Call of Duties if you're going back especially to Modern Warfare 2. One of the main differences I saw, and I think a lot of people did, was the sniping. I don't know, it just felt a little bit more clunky and it's definitely a little bit hard to master, but I definitely know if you're able to master it, it was really awesome, and so be really good with it. Now the gun-wise, the guns were not bad, sorry, they were pretty balanced at the beginning, I heard, and I didn't even know when I got it. They're still pretty balanced, but getting towards the end to maybe the middle of it, they started to nerf the shit out of some of the good guns, and it just got a little weird. I know, like, the AK-74 used to be a beast, and now it's not that good anymore. It's still viable in the right hands if you had the right attachments, rapid fire, or grip, or whatever. It's still really good. But I know, like, the main weapons in that game that people would be using are the AUG, FAMAS, even still the AK-74U. Galil, Commando, those are like the top tier weapons if you're going off of automatics. Now, SMGs in this game are not the best. I know they had like some of the shittiest SMGs. Spectra, PM63, Caprara. Sorry if I butchered like fucking half those names. I can never pronounce them right. But ARs definitely ruled the game. Like I said earlier, FAMAS, AUG, Commando, Galil. Those are all great weapons. Even like the ones that were a little less used, like Enfield or G11, they were still better than most of the SMGs in the game, which were kind of sad because I don't even know in Call of Duty's later and some previous ones, SMGs ruled it. Because even if you think about, like, go back to World at War, you had the MP40 and Thompson, those like ruled the game. That's all you really saw in the lobbies was MP40 fucking extended mags and just people spraying. You had the UMP45 in Modern Warfare 2. PP90M1 in Modern Warfare 3 is just SMGs usually ruled Call of Duty, and this was one of the ones where SMGs were kind of lackluster. They did not really perform as well as previous ones, and even ones to come up. Now, like I said before, overall, the multiplayer was fun and enjoyable. The map-wise, I think the maps were pretty fun. It had some of the great maps. Nuketown, coming up in every single Black Ops series remastered. You had 2025, and then Nuketown in Black Ops 3. Firing Range, which was later remastered in Black Ops 2 Studio. You had Array. Just a bunch of... I think the maps overall were really good in that game. I had no really complaints about the maps. Even the DLC maps were amazing. And so definitely, I think Black Ops 1 is one of the better multiplayer Call of Duties. If you go off gun balancing, map-wise, just overall enjoyment. Now, this is like random, but secondaries they were pretty good. I mean, you had your shitty ones like ASP. Even honestly, the CZ75s weren't even that good. But what ruled that was dual-wield Pythons. I mean, for God's sake, that gun was amazing dual-wield. Launcher-wise, you had your Strela, your Law, and your RPG, which are alright. But another thing is, it was the first game to add like specialty weapons, which just wasn't your classic machine pistols or launchers. It added specialty weapons, which were the crossbow and ballistic knife, which were really fun to use. I mean, it definitely changed up the aspect of multiplayer, having like a knife that can launch. It had great lunge in that. And then you had your crossbow, which was in this game it was a explosive tip crossbow, so you're able to kill people sometimes if you didn't direct impact them, but usually you wouldn't. So the next part of multiplayer would be wager matches. Now these were a different lobby of it. The wager matches were, I guess, kind of like party games. You had gun game, sharpshooter, sticks and stones, and one in the chamber. Now these are really fun. If you're just bored, you were bored of multiplayer using the same gun over and over again, you want to switch it up. And also, the reason why it was wager matches is because you used your COD points in it. Now, COD points back then were not like it was now, where you got your supply drops and stuff. It's how you unlocked your guns, equipment, perks, which I thought was a really cool idea. I mean, I did kind of like the, ranking up to get the guns and stuff. But it was a cool change. It wasn't a bad one. It wasn't a great one. I found nothing wrong with it. So each one, gun in the game, you would progress to different guns. Every time you got a kill with one, you would get the next weapon, and it keeps going up. Now, if someone knifed you, which would be humiliation, you get reset a weapon. Sharpshooter, you spawn with different weapons with different attachments for 45 seconds. Each time you get a kill, you get a perk. After I believe it was 4 kills, you got ×2 bonus at each weapon switch every 45 seconds. Now the last 45 seconds worth was double points no matter what. So Sharpshooter was fun. Give you an array of weapons. So if you were like a low level, that give you a good chance to try out different weapons to see if you want to use your call points to lock them. Next is Sticks and Stones, which was only ballistic knife, crossbow, and combat axe. Now you get kills with your ballistic knife and crossbow. You could melee and get about half the points. Now, if you got hit with the combat axe or hit someone with the combat axe, that would reset them back to 0 points. So what would be awful is if you're in like the last minute of the game, you're in the lead, you know, with like maybe 200 points, and you get humiliated with the combat axe. That's one of the worst feelings. Now, one in the chamber is what it says. You have 1 bullet in the chamber. You have 3 lives. So you're running around. You try to play stealthy. If you knife someone, you get another bullet. If you kill someone with your bullet, you get that one back. If you miss, you're down to nothing. You have to battle that person with just your knife. And the way you won was you were last alive or you had the most points. Now, overall, Wager Match was fun. It was really innovative of Treyarch to be adding that. And you'll see in future videos when I do Black Ops 2, you'll see they brought them back a little bit different fashion. And sadly, in Black Ops 3, they only added gun game. But, you know, it was alright. It was still fun. But next part we're doing is combat training. So Black Ops 1 was the first Call of Duty to add a AI experience in the multiplayer where you could play on the actual maps with the actual multiplayer guns. That wasn't like a campaign or anything. Now, combat training was good for maybe a new player who didn't really want to hop in multiplayer against actual people and just practice around with bots. And also for people, you know, who are seasoned with the game and just wanted to get a little warm-up match or practice their sniping or whatever. Now, this was nothing super amazing, but it was something just, you know, really cool to add. It was just fun. Maybe mess around with some friends, have some like little challenges or whatever. So yeah, it was pretty fun. So next part is theater mode. So Black Ops 1 was also the first Call of Duty to add theater mode. Now this was a way to save some of your games. So like if you had a really good game from a recent game, or you had like a good clip or whatever, you can go back and actually save it and share it to the community or to your friends so they could see what you did. Now there was films you already had saved, you had your recent games, and you had community clips or screenshots and stuff like that. So it was really cool to be able to go back and see stuff you did from before and show like, hey, I got a quad feed, and go and show your friends in that. So next thing was going to be talking about the campaign. So Black Ops 1 campaign was a whole new campaign. It did not go off any of the previous ones unless you know, Reznov from World at War, but I don't really want to do any spoilers in here, but I will say Reznov is in it, if you want to say that. But Black Ops 1 campaign was in the Cold War era. So it was like around Vietnam, so you had your Vietnam weapons, you know, M16, AK, just like multiplayer. I don't really need to go through that. Now the main characters in that were Mason, Woods, and Reznov. Now the premise behind it, without giving any spoilers, is you're playing as Alex Mason, and you start out the campaign in a laboratory, and you're hooked to a bunch of machines, and you just keep seeing numbers, and the guy keeps saying, what were the numbers, Mason? And you pretty much, all the missions you're playing are flashbacks. You're going back to when you were actually fighting in the wars and that. Overall, the campaign was really fun. I did enjoy playing the whole way through it. I'm not going to spoil anything about it. That's not the point of this video. It's just about me talking about it, my feelings about it, what I thought. So yeah, campaign was awesome. It's something new to the Call of Duty series, and the only thing I will say is it does go over to Black Ops 2. So whenever I cover Black Ops 2, I'll be referencing back to Black Ops 1's campaign. So the last part we talk about is the zombies. So the final part of the Black Ops 1 series is we're going to be talking about the zombies. Now, the only other Call of Duty that had zombies before this was World at War, which is also Treyarch's game. Now, how I talked about in the Black Ops 3 video, how Black Ops 3 is a lot complex and a lot confusing. Black Ops 1 was kind of like that from World at War, but in a good way. You know, they added teleporters, bosses, anti-gravity, stuff like that. That changed the game, but I think more for the better and more enjoyable than all the stupid shit that Black Ops 3 did. So I think it was definitely the right kind of change. Because in Black Ops 1, you just had basics. You know, you're fighting zombies, really no perks, no pack-a-punch until you got to Reese. But if you're talking about like the 3 original ones, it was just basic. It was fun, it was enjoyable, nothing too fancy about it. The Black Ops 1 did get a little bit more complex, like I said, in a good way. Now the maps on that were Keener der Toten 5, Dead Ops Arcade, Ascension, Call of the Dead, Shangri-La, and Moon. Now with the last DLC, Moon, it also included the 4 original maps, Nocturne, Toten, Verrückt, Shino Numa, and Der Riese, which I thought were cool. They were like remastered. And Black Ops 1 Zombies, I feel like is one of my favorite zombies. If you're going off of World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, and Infinite Warfare, I'd say that's probably my second favorite out of all of them. The DLC maps were really fun, and if I had to pick out of all of them, my favorite map would probably have to be, probably Ascension. Ascension was really fun. It was something different. It's like all the Kino, you were in a theater. That's when they added like teleporters and stuff. That's how you got up to Pack-a-Punch, and you had the Relinko and stuff, which was cool. 5 was in the I can't remember what base it was in, but I know it had like Castro, JFK, people like that, and they were all in a conference and the zombie outbreak happened, so they were, fighting in labs and stuff. Dead Ops was the overhead one where you just fight through different waves of stuff, which I thought was really cool. And if you're talking about like the bosses, you have Call of Duty, you had George Romero, who could be a pain in the ass. He was kind of slow, but be a really pain in the ass. Moon had those like astronaut guys. I'm not really sure what they were called. The ones that had like your friend's gamer tag or whatever on it. And also Black Ops 1 added some new wonder weapons. You had the wave gun in Moon. You had the I think it was called the Winter's Howl, that like ice gun. You had like 5 in that. So I feel like Black Ops 1 Zombies was a good change that zombies need, and it progressed into the future. And we talk about Black Ops 2, see how that established it and that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Black Ops 1 video of what is the greatest Call of Duty. Tell me your opinion of your thoughts on Black Ops 1 in the comments. And I hope you guys stay tuned for part 3, and I'll talk to you guys later.